Good up.
This is channel 253. Beep, boop, boop.
On this episode of the Grit and Grain podcast.
So then I told my wife, I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to try and start a distribution company. Mm. And then she was like, I'm really happy to hear you say that.
Shout out to
when you said that you were going to go back to bartending full time, it kind of bummed me out because I thought you were more ambitious than that. Oh. And I was like, ouch.
And speaking of, it's National Bartender Day.
Yeah. Did you know Channel 253 is member supported? I'm producer Doug Mackey, and I hope you will show your support by going to channel253.com/membership and join. Thank you.
Welcome to the Grit and Grain podcast, where we explore and celebrate the craft beer industry, community, and history in Tacoma, Washington, and surrounding Pacific Northwest areas. Thank you so much for hanging out. Let's get to it. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Grit and Grain podcast, coming to you guys from Peaks and Pints in Tacoma, Washington. It's a whole room. Thank you guys for listening. My name is Matt McLaren. I'm here as always with Ron Swarner.
Hello.
What's up, Ron?
Not much.
You seem really excited.
I know you jumped the gun.
The question of the day is 2 Lees or not 2 Lees. That's the question.
Okay.
Getting right into it.
Fucking sweet.
I gotta go.
Yeah. I knew you were gonna scare him off. And Bethany, how's it going?
Great. How are you guys?
Very good. Sweet. Well, yeah, I'm doing good, and I'm excited for this one actually because we get to talk about my work a little bit and people who do my work a little bit. So yeah, we have 2 guests today, and we'll find a way to discern who they are throughout the podcast. But yeah, so these guys have been working in the beer world in Washington State for like a while, doing some distribution work for like one of the most like high quality and kind of like in a way sort of legendary beer distributors around Washington, carrying some of the coolest imported brands and like a ton of crazy good local stuff, but are also recently business owners and. Yeah, I'm excited to talk about it. So our guests today are Lees. Thanks, Ron.
Yep.
So Lee Cizek and Lee McGlothlen from Limited Liquids.
XBP
Limited Liquids, but also formerly of Brower Polska. So yeah, thanks for coming around.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Yeah.
Good to be here.
Yeah, business owner is like a polite way of saying unemployed.
I'm an entrepreneur. Well, I should ask you guys rather than anybody else. What are we drinking right now?
Oh man, this is 2012 of the best beer in the world, St. Bernardus, Ab 12.
There's a real good argument for that. There's a real valid argument for that.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've never had an Abbott 12 aged for this long.
I haven't either.
Me neither.
And Abbott 12 Day's coming up
Oh man,
on the 12th of December.
fuck, that is damn good.
Yeah.
It's like
Doesn't taste like 10%.
no, it's just like juiced carbonated figs. Like, that's all it tastes like. So good.
Yeah,
the
man,
carbonation is bumped like a ton on it.
I love this beer. I've loved this beer since before I was working for Brower Polska.
Yeah.
Actually, it was cool to work for Brower Polska because I was part of the opening staff of this. It was a metal vegan bar called Highline up on Capitol Hill.
Oh yeah.
And we had Abbott 12 on tap year round. And
awesome.
Duchess.
That's awesome.
And Lee was my sales rep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Oh, it was that was originally owned by the people that owned Squid and Ink, which is an old vegan restaurant actually down by where I live currently. Mm-hmm. And they opened up that shop, and I was like, I got to get in there, and I got in front of Lee.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, the most unlikely places have two of the best beers in the world. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something like kind of romantic going to a place that you don't expect to have really good beer and then having like fucking S tier beer.
Yeah.
Like going to like a random show and then seeing something like Brother Thelonious or something on tap. You're just like, oh my God, my night just got so much better. I would imagine it's the same for nerds walking into like this place seeing
My night
12
just
or
got
Duchess.
so much better / so much shorter.
Yeah, totally. It'll be a shame that I can't remember it.
Take more pictures.
I know, seriously. That's not how you guys met, though, is it?
No.
You guys knew each other for a while prior to that.
Yeah, we've known each other for probably since we were in our. Like, when did you move up
I
here?
moved here actually on December 1st, 2000. So in a couple days, it'll be my 23rd anniversary.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I was 19, so...
Yeah. Probably since our very, very, very early 20s, if not, like, being 20.
Sure.
Playing, like, basement shows and stuff like that.
Right on.
I'd seen Lee's band at the time play a bunch of places like Ground Zero and Vera Project, Paradox.
Yeah.
Man, I miss Vera Project.
Yeah.
At least as an audience member.
Leo, you can still be able to crank it out once you get going here?
I don't know, man.
It's easy. Just keep doing it.
Yeah. It takes up a lot of time, and admittedly, I don't want to say I wasted a lot of my life on it, but I definitely it was all I was doing throughout all my 20s and 30s and stuff like that. And here I am, like 44, and I'm like, God, this is kind of like what punk retirement looks like.
But you toured the world with Theories.
Oh yeah. Between Theories and Black Breath, yeah.
Yeah, Black Breath.
Yeah. But yeah, did a lot of that. I wouldn't have traded that for anything. But yeah, it was definitely. I just don't know if I can do that anymore. I love my wife. I like seeing her.
I'd rather she not hate me.
Yeah.
What kind of music?
Like grindcore,
Okay.
death metal, stuff like that.
Super relaxing.
Yeah.
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 Bathtub music.
And you were a bartender in this town several places.
Yeah, man. I've been a bartender for over 20 years, and I kind of feel like it's good. Like I've always kind of thought that supply side was kind of the upward mobility of being a bartender, and it's kind of cool. It's like I feel like my experience like bartending, I can walk into most places and I can know what I can get away with.
That's pretty valid.
Yeah, you're at the Top and Zodiac. And,
Top of Tacoma, Zodiac Supper Club. I bartended a bunch in Capitol Hill. Like me and my wife moved down here a little over 10 years ago, I want to say. But I grew up not far from here. I grew up in Auburn. Spent a lot of my formative years in Tacoma and stuff like that.
Yeah.
First 21 and over show I ever played was at the Central, which is was then the Sixth and Proctor Bar and Grill, and then Hell's Kitchen.
Then Hell's Kitchen.
And then Hell's Kitchen, yeah.
Played there with Portrait of Poverty when I was like, I think I was like 17.
Yeah.
And like we got in and they were all handing us pitchers of beer, and I was like, this is hella cool. As a bartender now, I'm like, you guys are insane. It was like the Wild West back then.
Matt Driscoll from the Trib just interviewed Flash.
Oh yeah,
Really?
For a story on Alma and just what's happening in the Tacoma scene.
Sure.
Yeah.
That guy's still doing it.
Boy, man, he brought in some great shows.
Yeah.
Dude. I was just talking to somebody about Hell's Kitchen days. Like, you and I probably crossed paths there
for sure.
300 times. I didn't realize how much I had like grown up in that place until I was like talking about it out loud to somebody. Just like every week for like 3 or 4 nights I was there, I feel like.
Yeah.
And I have like tattoos of bands and shit that I like grew up watching there when I was like in middle school. I miss that shit.
Yeah, I do too.
Which building was Hell's Kitchen in?
It's that comedy club now.
Yeah, it's Tacoma.
It's the Tacoma Comedy Club.
It's like Sixth and Proctor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's right. Yeah.
So what pulled you over to the sort of like supply and distribution side outside of being a bartender?
Lee over here literally
Dragged
asked
you?
me. No, I mean, he asked me, is like, how busy is bartending keeping you? And I was like, I don't know, I can always make a little bit more money. And then I kind of fell in love with it.
Yeah.
There's something, I don't know, man. This job, like kind of what we're doing right now, like getting this thing started, I've thought about it, and it's not unlike kind of starting DIY, like being in part of a DIY punk community.
Really?
It's the networking aspect of it is pretty similar.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's like when I'm hitting up, like when I've been cold calling a lot of like breweries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
To try and see who would be interested in working with us. And like, it's not unlike hitting up venues.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like calling a venue.
And hitting up bands in different states.
Yep.
Being like, hey, like, can we book a show there? Or like, do you guys know anyone we can play with? You know, it's like, it's not.
Do you have a green room?
It's the same sort of, man, I just need a couch to sleep on.
I promise I'm low maintenance. Just let me roll through.
But yeah, I mean, it's not dissimilar from that.
That's like as you're saying it, I'm just like, that's like a super valid analogy, actually. Because it's, I don't know, does it feel kind of garage bandy still? Like it's a brand new business project and you're still kind of piecing stuff together?
Yeah. I mean, so we just started getting, we have a new warehouse that we're kind of, the old one was like a glorified storage space.
Yeah.
And once we started getting stuff in there, I'm like, all right, we're not cosplaying as business owners anymore.
We have an asset.
But it also at the same time, it's like my anxiety has gone through the roof.
Totally.
Like, it's literally like I signed on for a 3-year lease, and I'm on the hook for that lease, no matter what happens from here on out.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like
sink or swim.
Yeah, it's kind of like I jumped out of the helicopter. And now there's nothing I can do about it. I can't. But before I was like, oh man, we can just stop doing this anytime, right?
The breweries we brought on won't care.
Yeah,
They're not like important to people or anything. They don't have influence in this industry.
No, but it's
those fucking Lees. We were talking. So when Michael came through from Vice, he was kind of joking about like how creatives sort of like thrive under pressure and stuff. Do you feel like when it became sink or swim, do you kind of feel like it's lit a fire in a way? Do you thrive under that kind of pressure?
It's, I mean, kind of. It's to be kind of honest. I like in some respects I feel like we haven't talked, like we were going to call this the
Imposter syndrome happy hour. We're totally still calling it that.
Happy hour. but I feel like in some respects I feel like a kid at the adults table sometimes.
Okay.
With this, but then also like I feel a little out of my depth, but then sometimes I'm like, am I doing this? Am I good at this? I'm like, I think I might be all right at this. And then I'm like, maybe like having what it takes to having what it takes to do this is purely just being able to endure all of these weird, like conflicting feelings I have and still be able to function.
Yeah, still be able to put beer in front of people's faces and talk about it confidently.
Yeah.
I think a lot of business owners don't even have that. They're just like, I got this, and like they don't really take a lot of feedback or criticisms
seriously,
and stuff. So it's really good. The
confidence of some motherfuckers
Yeah.
to start a whole business
Yeah.
around concepts that clearly have not been like field tested is bananas.
So
a lot of them call us. Did you guys even have people try this? Like, what the fuck? It's our avocado non-alcoholic seltzer. No, man.
I think we've kind of been lucky too in that we've kind of seen both sides of how the business can be ran, and neither which was very satisfactory to what we want to be doing.
Sure.
So we can kind of borrow from both sides of it. The full on, like I was thinking earlier about how Brower Polska is kind of like the worst parts of libertarianism. I don't mean all the like loaded baggage with it, but like all the lack of regulations and everything.
Okay. Where are you going with this, Lee?
Yeah.
Let's go.
I love it. Laissez-faire.
Yeah.
You know,
Sure,
very,
sure.
very, very hands-off and like experimental and maybe punk rock to like what degree we could get away with stuff. And then it got sold, and all of a sudden it was just so corporate.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, you know, you can say what you will about that, but we actually learned a lot from all of that. And it gave us a lot of opportunities to do cool stuff we never would have been able to do otherwise.
Sure.
But I think we realized we didn't really want to be in either of those worlds. Now we can kind of try to do something our own.
Yeah.
Maybe we can quickly go over the timeline with that. I know we've mentioned it several times.
Yeah, we've talked about Brower quite a bit.
Yeah, and then to Corwin, and then to Pepsi.
Yeah. So Cizek was with, how long were you with Brower?
I was with Brower, I think, since 2009.
Okay.
I came on just part-time as a warehouse person a few days a week through a friend that was working there. And it was just me and Vitold and a couple salespeople and Terry Julik, who stayed with the company from before I was on, right through the end.
Yeah.
He's been one of the awesomest people I've ever worked with in any capacity, and he's still doing great stuff today.
That's awesome.
Shout out to the homie.
Yeah, absolutely. But within a few months, I was tenuously promoted to having a sales route out on the east side in Capitol Hill as well, which is how I came to be the rep for Highline when I came on. And we came through a couple different iterations of Brower over those years as far as growth. Moved warehouses a few times. Around 2017 or so, I think we started getting really serious about what we were trying to do. And, hiring people like Lee, hiring some other people like Jason Allen, who was another homie who came out through the very end. It was very, very helpful to what we're doing and is still doing really cool stuff.
Totally.
What was it? Mid 2019, it was just kind of offhandedly announced to us by the original owner of Brower that he was looking to sell the company to a company in Vancouver who was actually working as our sub-jobber down there. And I said, that's an interesting idea, but we had a meeting with them 3 days later, and I didn't know how far into it we had
It was
already been. In fact, it was already pretty much...
we're your new bosses.
Yeah. That made me call everybody in. They're like, why are we coming to the warehouse right now? I'm like, I don't know. We got to meet with some people. I'm like, oh, we own you now. We're like, oh. Great. We didn't take that conversation too well, and I imagine the car ride back was just the three of them driving back being like, well, that was weird today.
Was it like some vitriol kind of?
It wasn't
like
vitriolic. I think it was just like a lot of like deflatedness. Maybe some egos in the room probably felt a little bruised that, we didn't go a different way before going that way.
Oh, sure.
And then some people that, probably just said some things they shouldn't have in that moment.
I can imagine that it was probably,
Are those people sitting here right now?
I haven't gotten where I was by just flying off the handle. Just sometimes.
Did it kind of feel like going? I mean, like you said, there was kind of this punk rock vibe to Brower, and like I was a buyer during a lot of that time, especially like at the beginning of Brower's kind of expansion and picking up new stuff and things like that. And even on the buyer side, there was sort of that vibe is like, these guys are fucking rad. They're doing stuff nobody else is doing. When that got announced and you guys were sat down and were like, yo, we have new bosses now. Was it like going from punk rock to like, fuck, we're Applebee's now? Was that like the feeling? Or was it just that somebody else is making the decisions for us now?
Yes. More of the B, I think.
Okay.
How did you feel? I don't really feel like at any point we were like, oh, we're a franchise, we were a product. I think they gave us an identity and attempted to make us into a brand because it fit what they were doing, but we didn't really ever have to sell that to anybody we were dealing with.
No, they didn't. I feel like they were kind of like where we felt it was in like processes and stuff like that. and equipment. I had an iPad for the first time.
I remember when you got that.
we had like, you know, some sort of infrastructure, which was good.
Yeah.
And
it's not like it was all negative.
No,
obviously.
not at all.
I had health insurance.
Yeah.
That was
fucking sweet.
That was sick.
Yeah.
It was definitely like, it was going into it. I was like, this is like, these guys are square as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, how are we going to get along with these guys? And then how it
Doritos salesman. Sorry.
and how it kind of, I mean, I feel like they were smart about it too, because they went in and they were like, oh, this is a company that works.
Yeah.
Like, however, you know, dysfunctional it may seem, these guys somewhat know what they're doing, so they kind of left us alone.
That's good. That speaks to some kind of understanding of the market, because they knew that the people that they needed to spend money with them trusted you guys by name, basically.
Yeah. And like, if they had came in and started changing like everything, I feel like that probably would have been a pretty awful business decision.
Yes.
Because like you're buying it for a reason, right? You're buying the company for a reason. To go in and change everything doesn't make any sense.
Sure.
Because then people like Ron are going to be like, what happened to Brower?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like, where is this kind of like, you know, if everyone's starting to, you know, just be like, I don't know. I don't know. It's if everyone started getting all square about things, it's,
Yeah. It wouldn't feel like Brower anymore.
Yeah.
And that vibe would translate to the people that you guys depend on for business.
Yes.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
So at what point was it the seed got planted to start your own company?
Well, we got laid
company?
off.
Yeah.
You're like, now we fucking do it.
I mean,
Had that been an idea in your heads, like we could do this better?
we got. I mean, I think I can talk about this now. I knew about it about a month before anybody else, but we got notification about this going on by one of our breweries who just texted us first thing in the morning one day saying, I'm really sorry this happened, and we were just like, what?
You're like, wait,
I
what?
was like, yeah, he's sorry. But everybody else like, what the hell is going on? So Lee knew from Thailand.
Yeah.
And the rest of everybody else going into
Ryan, you were out of the
and the rest of us knew going into a meeting at like 9 a.m. that they were having with the whole company, letting everybody know what was going on. I had kind of, you know, not being able to discuss this with anybody, I had kind of just been looking into an exit strategy. But as soon as he got back in town, he was just like, we got to keep doing this. And I was like, no, he's right, we do. I don't know what I'm going to do otherwise. So.
It was so when it was actually a brewery that told me when I was in Thailand, and they were like, I don't want to like divulge.
All good.
But
Spit out your Thai Tylenol.
Basically they were like, fuck this. I can't believe they're fucking doing this to you guys. I can't believe they're doing this to us. Like, after everything you guys did for us, like, and I was like, yo, man, what are you talking about? and then so my wife asked me, she was like, after I kind of processed, she was like, what are you going to do? And I was like, I don't know. I guess I'm going to go back to bartending full time. Mm-hmm. And then I kind of was stewing on it and stuff like that, and thinking about like what I was going to do next. And
dump all your Pepsi.
I was like, I had come to. I was like, man, I was like, we can. I feel like we can do this.
Yeah.
I feel like we can. You know, I know who I can sell to. I'm still friends with all of these accounts, right?
Yep.
And
these suppliers.
and
I still have the
suppliers.
trust of these suppliers too.
It's just time and money, right?
Right.
And so then I told my wife, I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to try and start a distribution company. Mm-hmm. And then she was like, I'm really happy to hear you say that.
Shout out to
when you said that you were going to go back to bartending full time, it kind of bummed me out because I thought you were more ambitious than that. And I was like, ouch.
And speaking of, it's National Bartender Day.
But that was like
Thank you, bartenders.
Yeah, but that was like I don't know. it's like she's been the champion through all of this thing.
Totally.
You know, and
That's
like
fucking awesome.
It's, I don't know, like I was saying before, like there's a lot of anxiety around this.
Sure.
But you know, she's who keeps me sane a lot of the time.
That's good. I need an anchor, man.
Yeah.
To be clear, it's not ambitious to be a fucking bartender.
That's
but
right.
Lee just said that upward mobility felt like being on the supplier side. Obviously communicated that to his wife, who then said it would be disappointing if you went down from your upward mobility. So no hate mail, please.
Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying that for me.
Yeah. Nice asterisk.
We love bartenders.
Yeah.
For sure.
And,
Well, I mean, I've been doing it. It's a
I was gonna say,
great
like,
job.
you're
I've been doing it
an
for 20
actual career bartender.
Yeah, I still work shifts at Topic. You
Yeah.
know,
It's hard as shit to be nice to people.
Dude,
Right?
that is exactly it.
I mean, really, it is.
that's why all my favorite bartending jobs are jobs I didn't have to be nice to people.
Like the top, where you just need to be fast.
Yep.
We're going to take a super quick break, but we'll be right back. Stick around. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for hanging out during the break. If you skip the break, we're going to do a super quick shout out to both Doug, our wonderful producer, and to Channel 253. Woo!
Cheers.
Please do check out Channel 253. It's fucking awesome. We're super excited to be a part of it, and it's a great way to stay connected to Tacoma. And it's all member supported, so they rely very much on your participation. Go to channel253.com/membership. We're drinking not new beer, the same beer, but it should be a little different by now. So that Abbott 12, that 11-year-old Abbott 12 that we poured at the beginning, should be warmed up just a little bit. It was like straight fig, like carbonated fig juice, and still dried fruit, but there's like a ton of nuttiness now.
Yeah.
Lots of like hazelnut and like almost like marzipan. Oh, it's
Sweet,
delicious.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Toffee.
sweeter feeling now.
Marzipan.
I love this fucking beer.
So, what niche are you guys planning on filling? I mean, there's a lot of distributors out there. Do you have a
Fucking not really. It's a little consolidated.
yeah, a little bit, but
But there's a lot of beer out there.
yeah.
Honestly, like I'm not super concerned about filling gaps in the market. You know, I'm more concerned about doing business with people that I like.
Yeah.
It's a marriage.
Yeah, like who we're representing right now. Like we've got 5440 Brewing, we've got Headless Mumby, we've got
Both award-winning
yeah.
breweries from fucking top to bottom.
and
So good.
we're dealing with Prairie Artisan Ales out of Oklahoma City, and it's just all of these people that are like I mean, you guys have had Headless Mumby on here, like, and they're the nicest people on the face of the planet.
They
like,
really are.
It's in 5440. Those guys, I will ride with
Yeah.
them for as long as it takes. That
They were ride or die with you.
yeah, dude, I mean, they were. It was. I think kind of that's when it like kind of hit home that we could do this was when they were like, we don't want to self-distro up to Puget Sound region.
Yeah.
We don't like our distribution options up there.
Right.
If you guys are doing something, like you are our guys.
Yeah.
And it was like that kind of confidence, even though we had nothing, was like super kind of empowering.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And
I imagine beer is the number one. If it's great beer, you want to definitely be involved. But it's also the people. It's a marriage
yeah,
between...
but actually, I mean, that's like great beer is great, right?
Yeah.
You know, I love beer, but it's like I hate to say this. This is probably going to be another thing I'm going to put my foot in my mouth, but not everyone that makes great beer are great people.
Right.
It's fucking true.
And I want to
Draw the line.
yeah, I want to be in business with great people.
Yeah.
And people that like I want to, because ultimately like that's what makes this more fun to do.
Sure.
Is to see to see those people that I respect and I like get more exposure and stuff.
Yeah, and be successful.
Succeed,
Yeah.
Totally.
So that's kind of like that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
That's a solid business plan. maybe not a solid business plan, but it's a great fucking goal to have, especially in this industry, because it's still so community oriented. And if that's the line you're drawing, like great beer and also great people, like this.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to carry beer I don't like.
Sure.
I don't want to carry beer I don't like.
Good.
But then
who would trust you?
Yeah, exactly.
That's like something that, like I've talked about working for a distributor for a while, and when Brower closed, like I even said on here that it was like, fuck, it's starting to feel lonely kind of in this space now. There's a few small distribution projects going on, but they all kind of just work on different models, and it just, it's different kind of than being just straight up kind of grassroots, like who's making great beer, who can like help me supply that to as many people as possible. So hearing that, I mean, it is not super common that like a brand new distributor opens up like in this realm, in this industry, in this state. And
also kind of like to your point about like, in this kind of, like small tier distribution, there are a lot of like distributors, but there aren't people that are trying to start this literally from nothing.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of people that are doing it like,
as a side project.
Yeah. I respect all those people that are doing that, and they're bringing great products to market. But like, it's like this, what we're doing is, in my mind, so much dumber.
which makes it more punk rock. I think that's something that people don't totally understand is like, because distributors, we're behind the curtain every time. Like nobody gives a shit who we are. Yeah. All they really care about is the beer on the shelf. They know the account, they know the brewery. So we're very hidden middlemen type people. And we've had guests on here who have been vocal against what distributors represent in the industry. Like they're leeches, they just suck whatever they can and all of that. And I pride myself on trying to be sort of the antithesis of that idea, as I know you guys have and still do. But yeah, man, like if you're a small brewery and you're maximizing your business at your tap room, but you still have beer left over, how the fuck are you going to get in front of people? How are you going to drive business to your brewery without getting your beer out to the places like Peaks and Pints, like Parkway, like the Red Hot, fucking like Bottle Works, like
beer tourism is a thing.
It really is, especially here. And, you're working with places that need direct consumer business, and distribution ends up being one of the most important, almost like marketing expenses for a lot of breweries. And
so are you saying that you help them out with sales strategy and branding? And
we try to. It's probably not something that every distributor does, but it's something that we try to do if we can help it. Yeah. Like we
if the brewery's willing to listen.
If the brewery wants to listen to you.
But you offer that service.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
Like, hey, like we try to be as like symbiotic as possible. Like we want if they, because you guys, us, like small distributors, we try to just be their eyes on the market. Like they're focusing on making really good beer. We'll try to focus on all the other shit. We know what people are talking about. We're following everybody on social media. We can see what beers everybody's excited for. Or
we hear the questions from the buyers.
Yeah, exactly.
About what can I get? Like what I'm looking for this, you know.
So if a brewer approaches any of us and they're like, hey, like, what are you guys hearing out there? Sweet, I have this, let me shovel this information into your face so that you can make better business decisions. And so, like with some distributors, bigger distributors, it's not even an option. Like you just don't get that kind of feedback. Yeah, so breweries growing, in my opinion, does take some measure of distribution. And so I do think it's a necessity despite the opinions of like some beer makers. And this is why.
To kind of like, not to beat the kind of the music analogy to death, but it's what I know. I kind of look at distributor, like if brewers are the artists, right?
Yep.
Distributors would be the equivalent of like, record labels.
Yep. I just had this talk with somebody. It's funny.
And it's like,
which makes it sound way worse than it is.
Yeah, but that's also like That's a super predatory industry.
It really
right?
is, totally.
And like, you know, there are record labels that what they do is they try to extract as much blood from that stone as they can.
Yep.
But then there are some record labels that just want to get people's music out there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
And no one's going to get rich doing that.
No.
But I tell you what, it's like, you know, if what we're doing is to get good beer from people that I respect out into the market, I may not necessarily get rich doing that.
Yeah.
But it's going to be, I don't know.
There's something pretty about it.
It's kind of a cool way to live life, right?
Yeah.
You know, just to go out there and just be able to talk to beer nerds, talk to beer nerds about this shit, and like, you know, it's
and earn gold.
Yeah.
And earn medals. Yeah, I was just like, sometimes the record label analogy is something that I use to people who just have no fucking scope at all in the industry, and they're like, oh, like, what does the distributor do? What do you do as like a brand manager or a sales manager? And I always end up going like, oh, we pull in brewers that not a lot of people have heard of, but do really good work, and so we think that people will like their work if we get it in front of as many faces as possible. And I'm like, oh, I'm describing like the music industry kind of in a way.
Yeah.
And like the record label analogy ends up just being a really efficient way to describe what I try to do. But you're totally right. Like, that kind of predatory business practice exists both in the beer world and in the music world. And it's, I don't know, as I'm saying it out loud, the crossover is just like, it's like wild. Yeah. But, you know, that's the idea, is that all we really care, like, if somebody's calling you and your priority is just good beer and good people, they know that if they spend money on your guys' book, then they're going to get something that people will actually order more than once, because it'll just be high quality.
Yeah.
But they're also going to avoid spending any money on, you know, breweries that are, you know, maybe don't have the most savory business practices or whatever, because that's also kind of in your guys' priority line.
Yeah.
And that's,
I mean, look at Headless Mumby. You know, like, only fully unionized brewery.
I was going to say, actual unionized. Setting a gold standard for what will probably be the future of this industry in a decade. Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah. Like, that's money well spent. And I imagine a lot of the community really, like, if they don't value it now, especially as the kind of beer gold rush is over and now it's just a competitive industry, people are going to be much more discerning about how they spend their money and who they spend it with. And the more you can kind of like elevate yourself in sort of this stratified quality kind of craft beer realm, and be closer to the top, the more people are just going to choose your stuff anyway, or at least be confident in the stuff that you guys are picking, which is awesome. It's a good position to be in, even though it feels dumb now.
What are you guys buying next?
What's that?
What's the next purchase?
Oh man,
you're building a business.
Oh man, God, I mean, there's like a lot of stuff that I
forklift tires.
Kind of forklift tires.
If anybody has forklift tires,
I need forklift tires. If anyone's got a good HVAC person to recommend, that'd be great. Yeah. As far as like brands and stuff like that, there's people that I'm definitely wanting to go after, but it's kind of like, you know,
still early.
What's up?
Still early.
Yeah, and honestly, like, it's right now we're kind of trying to like get our legs underneath this.
There's a few import brands that still been left on the table after Brower's closure. Didn't go with anybody else, and we're working on kind of securing the infrastructure to be able to handle those.
Nice.
The S&H West portfolio is actually going to another importer soon, but we were able to continue that conversation to be able to carry that on. So we'll soon be carrying things like Praga, Pilsner, Weltenberger, Kloster, a few other brands through them.
That's awesome.
I think we're going to be continuing servicing Famosa Guatemalan lager through Walton, who was our sub-jobber in Bellingham when we were at Brower. So we'll be able to help that out. They already have somebody kind of working as an agent for them, but there's still a lot of spaces in between. Like, kind of like circling back to like the mission statement, I guess, that, you know, what Lee was talking about earlier. You know, just for me, since I've been in this a little bit longer than him, you know, I recognize that there's a lot of things that Brower made its name off of that are going to get lost. Like, you know, a lot of the big brands round up with some people, and like obviously Stiegel and St. Bernardus were going to be safe, but you know, there's a lot of brands that are from out of the country that aren't getting in front of people anymore, and there's actually like ethnic communities that might want it, and I still think that that's important that we get them to those people.
That's a good point, man.
for sure.
The import side. So like, the import side is really complicated in a lot of ways. It like, when you're a consumer and you just see something like St. Bernardus on the shelf, it's it doesn't really look any different than anything else. But like the laws in the United States, the laws in Washington, the 3-tiered system make getting beers from other countries into your hands really fucking difficult. And it's super expensive. It takes a long time. Sometimes you have to find people who can bring in entire containers of those beers. And then if you don't have a place to store it, you have to find somebody else who has a place to store it. And then you have to buy the beer from them at a markup in order to get it to somebody like Ron, who wants to sell it, obviously, at his normal price. Right. And, it ends up being so much more complicated than being able to go down to Headless Mumby and pick up a truckload. But you're 100% right. There are communities who no longer feel seen or represented when they can't find their fucking beer on the shelf. And if nobody is focusing on imports the way that you guys did at Brower and the way that you guys are doing now at XBP, it's going to get lost. And those people the small window into this world that they have will just disappear. So fucking word up to you guys still doing that, because it's super important.
Like Juviette's was always going to be a part of what we did.
Yeah, we do currently have Cizek. If anybody is looking for Cizek out there, we got it. Yeah. Find us.
but that was the beer. That was the beer that Brower Polska was founded.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was. We knew we were going to be carrying that.
You're going to make a lot of people happy with Praga.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will.
A lot of
questions. And Underberg.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Which seems like that seems like a pretty fucking good get.
Yeah.
Like, that's great.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's
obviously you guys already had the relationship, but like, it's the relationship that the Washington, like the Northwest beer community has to Underberg, just doesn't seem to exist anywhere else.
Yeah.
And like being in Colorado for CBC, we had to go to like 9 different places before we could find it. Cerebral had it, so we could like finally like have an Underberg.
I'm going to be in Denver tomorrow.
I
know where to go for Underberg.
Yep, for sure. And we took our like fancy social media picture, like cheers and Underberg. But it's like funny how wrapped up in that particular product this craft beer community is.
Yeah. The Washington State craft beer community has a problematic relationship with it.
So I imagine, Lee, you're going to go to True.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, the metal brewery.
Yeah, I'm going to the Decibel Metal and Beer Fest.
Oh, awesome.
True is kind of hosting it, so
yeah,
cool. Very cool.
Yeah,
on brand for them.
Yeah, very on brand.
Since Sean's not here, I want to ask both of you guys craft beer origins. I'll start with Cizek since he's been around longer. But what is there a single beer you can pick out that drove you into this industry, or into this kind of fandom, this consumer world?
I mean, import beers, yes. Craft beers is something I kind of had to learn about a little bit later. Because I feel like when I came into this industry, craft beer was only just kind of bubbling up.
Sure, yeah. 2009, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
So, I mean, right around the time that we acquired the 12% portfolio, which was around 2010, 2011, was when I really started understanding what all was going on out there. Obviously, there was a lot of local producers of, like, IPAs and everything, but IPAs didn't really click with me by that point. So instead, I was, like, finding brewers like Evil Twin and Stillwater that were doing, kind of like old world styles, but doing spins on them. That was where that was really my entry point to being able to understand and appreciate where the industry was going.
Hell yeah. So. That's a fucking smoking entry point, man. It's Stillwater and Evil Twin.
Yeah.
Everything else is just like downhill from that.
I think it was Stillwater. They had a beer called Existent, and the original run of beer bottles were all in 750s. It looked really cool, ornate, had like a tattoo artist do all the graphic design for them, and it had a picture of Nietzsche on it. And I was like, all right, well, these guys have really leaned into it, and I'm backing it.
Everything about this beer speaks to me.
You're leaning on backing.
Yeah. What about you, Lee? Other Lee?
I mean, I've kind of always had a little bit of an interest in craft beer. I started drinking beer when I was like 15 or 16.
Sure.
Practice space.
Yeah. And there was this punk guy in Auburn that was like, I think I was like, we were like 16, 17. He was like a grade above us, but he would always bring Weinhard's Blue Boar.
All right.
And it wasn't like Rainier. It was, or like cheap stuff that seemed like craft beer to me.
Yeah.
And it was like, I thought it was so cool. But then, just like growing up bartending, you see like new breweries come in. Like I remember when like Bear Republic came to Washington State.
Oh yeah.
I remember when North Coast came to Washington State. Like for a while there, like Velvet Merlin was like my favorite beer.
Oh
I
yeah,
love that
dude.
beer.
I had like a stint with that one too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I remember because I lived in West Seattle, but I would go. I worked in Georgetown, and I would go to like I would go to Full Throttle Bottles, and I would see like lotteries to get bottles of Pliny the Elder, and I was like, what is that? I was like, you guys are dumb.
Who the fuck would do this?
But
10 years later, here you are.
But I don't know. I just was always kind of. I mean, I like still one of my favorite like daily drinking beers is like Miller Lite. I still love Miller Lite.
Sure, dude.
And like
it's consistent.
Yeah. But yeah, I just kind of was always kind of into it a little bit.
Right on. There was always just like a part of you that was
and there was people like along the way. Like the first bartending job I had was at Mission Latin Lounge in West Seattle, and one of the regulars was Ken, who ended up from Uber and ended up opening up Slow Boat.
Oh yeah.
And we would go on like we were all into bikes, and so we would go on bike pub crawls and stuff like that.
Sick.
And he was like a good dude to like. I think he was the buyer at PCC West Seattle at that point. And like he was a good dude. Like just having him take me around, show me stuff.
He was pretty dialed in at that point, so it's like a connection to this sort of world.
And it's actually funny. The first sour beer I ever had was Duchess.
Oh,
At the big
that's fucking awesome.
At Big Time Brewery, because it was the only place. He was like, Ken was like, we have to ride our bikes to this brewery in the U District because they have this crazy beer on tap.
Yeah.
And like, I just I always did kind of like imports. Like I was a huge, like I would go out drinking, and then. But I would always pre-funk with like a shower beer when I was getting ready. My shower beer was always like Maudit.
There's like 9 people listening like, fuck yeah! That's awesome.
and at that point, like I was living on Capitol Hill at that point, and I was like, I lived probably, I don't know, 5 blocks from Stumbling Monk. So
That would fuck me up. That would fuck me up. Speaking of fuck up, it's actually time for fuck ups.
All right, illustrious grit and grain guests. Now it's time to throw down on some fuck up stories. I am Sean Jackson. Challenge flag has been set. Bar is high. Bring it on, fuckers.
I, besides starting a brand new beer distribution company,
I would say I don't really have a lot of, besides the beer distribution company. I would say the most, here's like a bartending fuck up story.
Sure.
I used to, when I worked at Mission Latin Lounge, I worked in the upstairs bar, and they had a lot of private parties and stuff like that. And they had Stella on tap. But Stella was only available in the downstairs bar. So if someone at the private party wanted Stella, I'd have to walk all the way down and pour Stella. And we had the actual like Stella glasses. So I went down. 2 people wanted Stellas, so I ran downstairs and poured 2 Stellas, and I had one in each hand. And I was like, it was busy as shit. So I was like kind of moving as fast as I could. And then there was like, had to run upstairs while carrying these Stella glasses. And I tripped on one of the stairs. Oh, I can already hear it. And I had Stella glass in each hand. And then I came down on the Stella glasses, and the stems sheared off and went through my wrist.
Stella!
Final destination.
Holy, I know, dude. That's like...
So I've still got a scar right here.
A Stella scar?
Yeah, and actually,
fuck,
so the bar manager, her name was Dondra, or is Dondra. She doesn't work there anymore, but well, that place doesn't even exist anymore.
No, you're fine.
But
she's not dead.
Yeah, she's not dead. She was
Stella got her too, man.
The part of your wrist is.
She was sweet enough to give me a ride to the ER, and like,
holy shit, dude.
So they actually were really nice. The person that stitched me up was like you can barely tell. They like matched the lines on my tattoo up.
Sweet.
Yeah, they were like, I want to make this look good for you.
Wow.
I was like, oh, you're sweet. Shout out to all the ER PAs and docs and stuff like that.
It's been a while since we've had one
best.
that was like Sean level. I could have died.
Yeah.
So,
It was pretty gnarly.
that's fucking wild, dude.
It was like when I got to the ER, they were like, whoa, you were like very close to major arteries there.
Jesus.
So
fucking Budweiser just fucking everybody up. That's better than my Elysian scar story. But that one is recent. My Elysian Legion. Fuck. How about you, Lee?
I'm practically perfect, man. I don't know. I'm trying
You're
to
like,
think
God
here.
fucked up when he didn't make more of me.
One thing that I'll say is I have a tendency to multitask and also get easily distracted. So I might be in the middle of a project and might screw something up. Lee's always the first person to really call me out on it, which is good. It's good that we have that kind of ebb and flow. But I'm trying to think of like a time where I really, really, in the industry bit it. I can't really think of anything. I'm sure that there's something that I'm ignoring. But a good story that always was kind of a precursor to me getting into the beer industry was right before I went to work for Brower, I was probably overserved at the old Capitol Hill bar King Cobra. And somebody saw me, I guess, stumbling down the stairs. And the bouncer, who wound up being Terry Julik, came up and told me I had to go. And I was like, no, man, I just got these new boots that I'm breaking in. That's why I'm having trouble navigating the stairs. And he's like, I don't think that's right. He's like, well, I got no money. This is like the last bit of money I've spent on this drink, so you owe me the $5. I was like, cool, man, I'll buy you a drink some other time. So fast forward 6 weeks later, and I'm working with that dude, and we're like, oh, hey.
I'm breaking in these new boots.
I mean, I was.
New boot goofing, man. I've never heard that. That's such a good excuse. I'm just breaking in these shoes. Oh, fuck, I'm stealing that.
All right, Grit and Grainers, email us at cheers@gritandgrainpodcast.com with your comments, opinions, and votes on whether XBP Limited Liquids should contact... That's a tongue twister.
We can dub that in, right?
Should contact Elon Musk and try to eliminate the text acronym XBP, which means X blows Pepsi. We read and drink everything we receive, and we try to respond as quickly as we can, if not online, then on air. You can subscribe to Grit and Grain on Amazon, Apple Music, Spotify, Google Play, iHeartRadio, and Stitcher. And please leave us a review. Also, check us out on Channel 253 and gritandgrainpodcast.com. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for episode notes and beer news. And what you want to see Lee McGlothlen
Close enough.
So close.
Delivering prairie artesian ales to a local bottle shops. What you do is make the sign. The sign, and it shall not be denied. The sign is all. The sign is made to this day by any true fan of metal. Thus spatheth the gods. If you do not know the sign, you simply do not know rock. Perhaps you should try it now. Thumb in, middle and ring finger down, index and pinky finger up, raise in defiance, awesomeness, true devotion to all that is heavy and pulsing and 4x4. See? The sign makes almost everything better. It also makes more metal. If this podcast is not what you expected, please alter your expectations. Hey, it's National Bartender Day. In honor, we present Doctor Who walks into a bar. The barman stops him and says, "Sorry, we don't serve time travelers here." Doctor Who walks into a bar. No such thing as a bad time to visit Tacoma. No such thing as too much barley wine. Tune in next Friday for more sweet chatter. Cheers.
Thanks, Lee.
Cheers.
Sorry, Lee.
Thanks again for tuning in. Don't forget to follow us at Grit and Grain Podcast wherever you get your social media and catch new episodes every Friday. Cheers.
Good up.
Channel 253 is a member-supported podcast network. I'm producer Doug Mackey, and I'm asking you to become a member and show your support. Go to channel253.com/membership to join. Thank you. Grit and Grain is part of the Channel 253 podcast network. Check out our other shows: Nerd Farmer, Interchangeable White Ladies, Move to Tacoma, Crossing Division, Citizen Tacoma, What Say You, We Are Tacoma, Flounders B Team, and Taco Man.
This is Channel 253.